Hello, welcome to Conscious Creators Space. Connection with your soul, your power, your guidance, your path. Interruption, you can work with me. Magical work, soul, deep soul connection, and we are working with what are you ready for to open up? What is the important message for you? For things that you're not going to get with your head, with just looking at it from the human level. We will look at it from your soul level, from your connection, higher connection. And I have jumpers with logos, heart reconnection, also powerful. When you set intention, it's going to work for you. And I also started just a nice, like a new collab. So I will share this news with you here because it's incredible. It's something that I actually wished for birthday. I asked my friends that they can get me this for birthday. And because I was just mesmerized with that. It's connected with crystals, but it's not really crystals. Let me drop a little nudge before I make like an intro video. I shared in shorts like the process of doing a big jump, big jump to even more expand, because triggers were an invitation to even more expand the flow without control on very deep levels that we're clearing for last years, even living out of the alignment, like walking the intuition and connecting with my soul and working with the energy. I was aware of that even that you can use to control, even that I was using to like check the information to know which way and stuff, which in one hand is understandable that we want to tune into that intuition. Even that intuition we might use as like precaution, just to because just not to turn some way to not experience something difficult, you know what I mean? Which in the end is still controlling out of mistrust or fear. And I was reflecting on that in this process, that you can do a couple of jumps on this path, and this is exactly the path. It's not a comfortable journey. It's and I actually have to say that with time, you more connection embodiment. One hand, you have more space of this incredible connection that you are in the heart and you're flowing. At the same time, you have more quicker ability to tap in and be in this pleasure and joy of presence in your being, in wholeness. You more feel this wholeness in the center. In the body, you're more in the body, you're more in connection, which is home, which is what we are all seeking for in all kinds of forms, shapes, and outside. It's that feeling. And the same time, I am aware that more and more you are as well expanded to be able to even to touch even more of your journey or of things that want to integrate, or memories, or you have more access to it, you have more capacity to, like, let's say, to touch your shadow, or even to have more responsibility. So that's kind of expanding. But I am also aware that what was happening for such a long time was this, and why it felt so much intense and in a wave, was that these two worlds were like functioning already, which creates a lot of contrast. This old structure, and that this very connected beings, humans being humans, anchoring in their light connection, or their energy, their light. So there it is, today's talk intro. So Let me pause, because I just felt this heart joy or opening. So what happened was that I made a decision. I want to share this so you can be brave in your own choices. And maybe I'm going to put the clip of me being a mess, just to because I recorded it, just to showcase what that looks like in real time. And basically what was going on in this last 2 weeks was a lot of clearing of this control, and in the last month a lot of topic which I got my channeled soul message. This is what is serving for the trigger, the struggle, the finances, the job. For me, the topic of jobs and finances and fitting in was a big live navigator and trigger in order to find myself. So basically I had this moment from the heart. I knew I have to show up in this platform. I met somebody, that person said, oh, maybe you can collab with that person. I got in touch, and basically I got to the point of like that last year learnings like came back to me strongly, that I felt I didn't feel fully right, like working with some person on this house actually. And I just still, I had this moment of like, oof, it doesn't feel right, like the way something went on. But I still was pressured. The finances were pressuring my head, and the timeline, because I had to come back from Tenerife, and it was a big project, never done it, never had my own house or apartment or anything. So the money pressure and some fear of like, oh, this is big, and the time pressure was like, yeah, I will just go with that. And at the moment I didn't see the solutions. Because I was there and I already talked with some people. So my whole head was telling me, yeah, just like, let's just do it. Like, I don't have more capacity to be like searching. I don't have any more ideas. This is like, I was checking it yet again, but a little bit out of control. I was checking it how I feel, and I feel like yes. But now I'm reflecting a year later that many of this in last years where, because sometimes we do have some connections and learnings, and we might feel like there is a click, but sometimes it's a click because we need that learning. It's not necessarily the click because it's like the best option. At least this is how I am reading it at this moment, because I felt the energy there. Like, I felt the connection. I was checking it, but I also, on a deeper level, we instantly, talking about also intuition and listening to it, on a deep level, you instantly feel like, oh, no, this connection is not, oh, I don't really trust that person. And then immediately we got into narration. It's because I feel like this today. And yeah, maybe I am something, whatever, or maybe it's just like we need to get to know each other better. We do it with relationship, we do it with other stuff. And that's the moment to pause and to realize what was your first impression, and also what is happening around you in that day, in that moment, in that scenario. And if you have like a weird day and some stuff is happening, but you still don't know how to tune into it to read it, just observe. You don't need to know a big messages coming, channel soul messages coming to you, and if we tap together, or you tap, I'm saying together because of this request to tap into the guidance and guides and intuition, you will know which channel. And also they are recorded in this channel, they are recorded connections, guided connections. All of this has the energy and the channel of connection with the divine, with the soul. So if you tap into that space, you might not be yet that much, or whatever, like you might not have that much practice in it, or be in your body, or be in the expanded that intuition. So you might not consciously capture how you got information yet, but just being in that energy, it is bringing you to that, because it's like you come to that space and you connect with that energy, and you will sooner or later feel it. And by coming back to it, you will sooner or later know which of your also intuitive channel, which means like senses, which senses are working for you the best, that you pick it up in the easiest way. So like you pick it up, you know, through feeling it immediately in the body, or having some word coming to you, or, you know. But let's come back to this story. So basically I was in the moment that I really had to make choices, like really, like I didn't know how I'm going to maintain some stuff, also how I would maintain with this house. And I came to the point of like, I was like on the edge. Am I jumping or am I not jumping? So everything was telling me logically, or mind, like, yeah, that's okay. It was just a day that you felt so clenched and stressed and so on. And then the day after, I just reflected. Oh my gosh, I had this learning and I can use it last year. And at the moment, like I said, I did not see other solutions. So I just rushed to that. Or I just assume, oh, it will take hard work to find other solutions, right? Like directly and time-wise and everything. And now I knew, a year later, it was a big lesson, like, let's say, fuck everything, that it might fall apart if I not choose this, but it just doesn't feel right. And it doesn't matter that I don't see the solution, because with time, with that last year, with time, I saw that there was for sure so many other options there, and they will pan out, or they will those will happen if I said no at that time. So this time I was like, okay, I'm pretty much on the edge. I feel like I might lose everything. Already after a hard year, already so much was going on. And still, I knew I get this like rage, divine rage. And I was just like, no, things that are not aligned, I'm saying no, even though I don't see what's going to happen after that. I just said no. I put the line to some friend as well, which I was kind of postponing because there was so many other topics that was going on. I said no. I said no to that collab. I said no to that connection. And day after, I was basically like, I think I need to accept that the radical trust is also knowing that things might collapse and things might just fall out, and I need to accept this, that if that happens, I trust that this is really the highest way. Even if I lose some stuff, I have to trust that this is the highest way. And of course it was like a lot of crying and a lot of but an unknown. So that happened. And the next day I just had this intuitive information, this energy, like this download, let's say, so famous download. The information just, oh, I'm going to do that and that. Or where is this idea coming from? But I also, when you connect with yourself, you more and more feel the subtle differences, where something is coming from, which side is coming from. Let's say that it's like present here, or it's just like the mind, or you feel more and more the subtle differences, especially when you come into feel and work energy. So when you connect deeper, then you just know, things just come to you and you can work with that. You can see or feel or whatever it's available to you. And it's very clear because it's basically based on your subtle feeling differences. So because it's like you walk around and do things and you feel something. I felt like this and something like that. You just know, right? You felt the difference. This is exactly how it works when you connect with yourself, and you keep doing that, and you keep coming back to it. And it depends on your path, right? You don't need to have like expanded that ability. It's enough that you are in your heart. You come back to your heart, and this is going to guide you. And also, this is where your intuition will guide you in the best way, and whatever is needed for you. So coming back, I had this message coming through, and well, this information coming through. Long story short, the same moment I sent messages, I felt like, I'm not gonna, but okay, I will just drop it. So I connected with somebody, and it was just like, oh, I was waiting for somebody like this to connect with. I just needed exactly somebody like that to do this collab, do this work. Like, oh, it's great that you picked it up in the field, like information. I was like, perfect. And I think the day after, I was talking with that person, and it felt so much different. Like my heart was aligned, like my heart was like I could be open, like it's very important, this collab, because I feel this came to me because I'm also meant to help that person, and I know that it's helping my work, my growth, my things. So yeah, that's what happened with after Big Jump. And don't get me wrong, after that, I think there was equinox, and I was in the Zoom in this beautiful process, and that brought a lot of clearing of that control from the belly. And after that, my week this week was again, it felt like a clearing again of that fear, and clearing again of some stuff in the body. And because sometimes where you work energetically, then your body is still processing afterwards, catching up, and some emotions and things are coming up. And it's very easy also, I am bad at that. My brain is like that I just take how it feels like as the truth. And so you have to remind yourself constantly that it's a process that comes to the surface to be looked at, and it's not that you are like coming back to it or whatever. You might not understand it. So after that process, I mentioned it I think before in the video, that I was like wondering, like, where is this actually coming from, that much of recorded programs? I mean, of course, the programs of control are in here in this reality at the current state of consciousness, but and the system set up and all this. But in me, in that amount of energy, I know that this is in my lineage, but this is also how I came, why I came to those experiences in here. And when I kind of asked myself that after this Zoom connection, I had a dream, and it was a dream. I can even feel it. I saw basically this mountain. Maybe it triggers something in you, but there were people standing in somewhere, and there was kind of like a big mountains there, and they were kind of like, it was like unsettled a bit, but then people didn't get all the information, and basically I have shivers. At some point at the corner there was like a lava coming. Whew. Yeah, am I meant to say that? Yeah, it's okay. Because I am still also testing what is important for me to say, how much of my personal story it's important to say, how much of just connection and soul work is here to be spoken about. So basically there was this lava, and all these people started to run up the hill, and I left my backpack, which is in this life. So that was this projection of that backpack, and I just had, I think, one thing. And I had already dreams as well about big wave, but it was already multiple times, and Tenerife also was very connected with that. but dreams were really way before, and I saw the big programs that were encoded in me for this life, that were connected with those events, but never, I think I haven't seen the lava part. And there was also like animals running up. So that was what I asked. Yeah, where is this amount of control and stuff coming in? So it's been shown. Also, in this, there is this, in that wave, there was a lot of days that I could see. Maybe you can also connect with your some events, because I also recognize in the way of the feeling of the dream, there are some cosmic dreams, there were some big messages coming, and there was past life dreams that I feel they're really like, oh, there is a scene because that was happening, and there is this energy, that program that I'm clearing this or that person and stuff. But okay, it's not for this, not for this video. I think that's it. It was more of a chat. I hope you're doing fantastic. Don't forget that when you are in that moment, that you work with yourself, you connect with yourself. Basically, you remember that you're already whole, and you connect with that heart love energy, unconditional love and wholeness, and from that you realize that you will have things coming into your body, through the body, events that will trigger the old energies, the things. Remember that they're coming to the surface to be basically released. And what helps is to sit with yourself as you can, because in those moments even it's hard because the moving body shaking and dancing is incredible, not forced. It's incredible, but in those moments when there's a lot of things happening, I notice that my system is rather used to freezing. So I am like this, and I don't even feel like getting, I need a moment, like a long moment to get into my body to finally, for example, dance or go and get that moving. So whenever you can finally find a space and place to sit down, just talk to yourself as well. There are a couple of recordings of like accepting everything that you are, and just talk to yourself, talk to your inner child, talk to your being, talk to your body, and say that it's okay that I feel like this, and can I just a little bit allow it to be like that, allow that pressure maybe in the body, or I feel knot in the throat a little bit. Can I allow that pressure in the body to be there? Can I just have a bit of space to just allow it, because it emerged and it's passing through? Can I allow this to pass through? And see how your body, how your body reacts to it, how you react to it. I am instantly in presence right now, in connection and in joy, actually. I have this deep joy coming in. Thank you for being in here. 2020, 25, 25. I think that's enough for this video. Join us, subscribe, and you can work with me. Maybe I put it in the beginning of the video. So, but all the links are below, or I will put it in the comments as well. Thank you for your presence. Any likes, questions, topics that you would like to connect with, shoot it, that we're going to do the work together. Cheers.